probably it's an interesting statistic for all of us, for the audience, that basically 16% of each society is disabled people.
Just way of consulting and helping, giving advice how you can improve your existing building or space to allow a wider range of different people to be able to easily commute and get and access your property.
Between the users and the building owners. And this was probably one of the major luck in this whole story, that to create a common understanding.
Okay. Do you have to go and make site visits to confirm the questionnaires you get, or how does that work?
Yeah, this is very important, that we say that for the users, the detailed and the trustable information is valuable. So this is what they require. And in order to secure them, we don't collect answers from the landlords in a form or something. We are sending out our professional auditors based on an accreditation system. Like Colliers is our partner. They are working with us. They delegated real estate professionals to carry out this audit. We teach them what they take care of it. Our software helps a lot. It is really a good tool to not to miss anything. And actually, yes. So one crucial point, that we are auditing the validity of all this data which lands to the users.
Tewfik, it sounds like this is the kind of thing where ideally you would be speaking with developers before they start construction to make sure their plans are sort of up to speed. Is that practical at this point?
The Czech Republic and the Prague market is quite specific because we have a relatively dry pipeline, so there are not many projects really coming. But ideally, in an ideal world, definitely yes. It's much easier to look into these things when they are still on paper, before they are being constructed and built. So this is the ideal scenario. Nevertheless, if you look at the Prague's existing stock office space, the majority of that stock is 10 years plus in terms of age. So it means actually it's relevant to all the existing stock regardless, because all these properties, even if they have thought about how to improve the accessibility for people with special needs, I'm sure things have changed, or new things can be introduced, or they have been not implemented at all to begin with. So I think this is equally relevant and applicable for any standing building, regardless of its category standard A, B, even C, because there might be an obstacle again, because how to enter into the reception and into the floor. But assuming that you have a reception area, you have an elevator, and so everything else is actually manageable and can be dealt with.
In the whole ESG question, which has been becoming increasingly important for the entire real estate community, I think there's always been a bigger focus on the environment aspect of it, but this to me seems like it fits in quite naturally to the S part of ESG.
Definitely, it's about the social. I wouldn't see that as much as the environment. It's more really the social aspect of it and the well-being, which is also part of that wider initiative.
Okay.
Robert, if I may join to the ESG question, if you don't mind.
Go ahead.
Actually, we are a bottom-up company, so basically our mission is coming from that point that we wanted to solve this problem for the users, for the people with limitations, to deliver this information. But as we pegged, finally it turned out that this ESG wave helps us a lot to penetrate. Why? Because we realized that actually in the S chapter, what to deliver to the social, it's really a challenge for those companies who are ESG reporting obliged. And it's really difficult to make it measurable. This is one crucial point in ESG, that your performance should be measured and remeasured time to time, or should be comparable to in the same industry with other players. And actually our system, what we solve is a real action So you do something, you not only speak about that, what I will do when I will do something. So actually to make the audit is measuring the actual status of the building in terms of inclusion or accessibility. It's a status report. It can be measured, so we are able to convert our data into scores, which is, as I mentioned, is important for them. And it has start and end. So you can count it that if I order this certification, it will be delivered in 2 months. And I did something. And basically our target group is the largest minority on earth. So this is really something serious, important, and valuable. So it is not just to not how to say a misfunction so just to do something. So this is a real action.
Okay, I think we'll start wrapping up. But first, I wanted to ask, how did this initiative Access4You get going? What was the initial idea?
Well, I don't understand this question.
What is the origin story for Access4You? Why was the company set up?
That's my actually. Once I speak, you know that the stories are remember always better the stories than. So I'm a storyteller all around the world when I invited to speak. So basically, my partner, the founder of the company, Balázs, is a wheelchair user, and as many of these, I need to cite another statistic here for the audience, which is very important, that 80% of the people suffering this kind of limitation are landing in this position between an age of 18 and 65. This is serious. That means that majority of them, they know how was their life before, and they want to live the same life, the same life long, in the future, and they have their no sudden limitations and those challenges which they never felt before. So basically, Balázs is a very vital and he's a tough guy, a businessman, and with an age of 25, reason of an illness, he landed in wheelchair. But he tried to keep their life going on, and he traveled. And even if he had prepared his trips concerning accessibility, he faced so many times barriers, misunderstandings, and those kind of challenges what he couldn't avoid in advance, or he didn't see it in advance. So this was and our story is the Lisbon story, that he had 2 weeks conversation with the hotel owner, and Rui told him that everything is fine. I have a very nice handicapped room for you, and he landed with his friends at midnight in front of the hotel, and he faced 4 huge stairs at the main entrance. And Rui told, don't worry, this is the only problem here, but my friend is here, we are helping you to get in with your chair. But Balázs told that, look, and you are here tomorrow every time when I want to go out and get in, and so this doesn't work. And that was actually the last drop for him. I need to deliver some solution for that. And as a businessman, he started to create a concept, and in a very early stage as a friend, we had a friendly lunch together about private things, and he started to tell me his story. And I'm over 30 years entrepreneur with entrepreneurial thinking or mindset. So I immediately started to coach him or to evaluate the story. But frankly saying, it is based on a very long track record of personal experience. Why doesn't it work, actually?
That's very interesting. Tewfik, I would think knowing in advance is an incredibly important issue for people. How do you think companies should let potential visitors of the location know what to expect ahead of time?
I'm not sure I'm understanding your question right, but
in other words, Balázs, who went to this hotel expecting everything would be fine, he couldn't know what he was going to be come up against. I would think that a big issue about this is predictability, so that people who have these types of difficulties with buildings know ahead of time what they can expect.
Again, I think today, because that story goes back a couple of decades, but I think things have definitely changed and improved. But my point is that I think the majority of people still in their mind, when they talk about disability, they see people in wheelchairs.
Mm-hmm.
And again, as we described, there are far more other people who fall into that category with different types of disabilities. Hearing, seeing, even women with prams, with small babies, when they need to have access into a space and so on. So what is important is, again, to make sure that all these aspects, and they can be easily highlighted, are simply explained. And again, in our world, we work with icons. You have icons for almost everything.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sure even within our industry and related to people with disabilities, you will easily be able to demonstrate how friendly the building is with very few simple icons, with braille letters, so people who cannot see can easily read or navigate themselves. With modern technologies and IT, where things, again, your phones can speak to you, identify areas. So I believe the mix between today's technologies, with having an open mind and having the ideas of what I want to have to make it as accessible as possible,
mm-hmm.
and fuse it, as the fusion of all that together, that will become I would say a new standard, a new norm, which we'll see in the near future. And maybe I will just add one thing, because it's a slogan I read in one of the fitness clubs, which I love. I'm more into health and healthy lifestyle, but I think it's equally valid for the business environment and offices. And the slogan actually states, "My body or our bodies are not a decoration, but a declaration of who we are and what we are." And I think the same can be applied to the offices and buildings, that the building and the space, the interior of it, it's not a decoration, it's a declaration, what I stand for, what I want to achieve, for whom I'm doing it, and why.
Tamás,
this is very nice. Actually, just to reflect on this last sentence, that it's very interesting. A client of us, a very good friend, and he has in Budapest close to 10 restaurants and places for different events. And he told that, guys, if when I order this service, let's make the audit. I want to express all the details, even those ones which are not correct. So the miscompliance or the non-compliance is also variable for the users. You catch perfectly this predictable. That actually, if I know that something is not good for me, I will not go there. But if I don't know, I will just stay there in front of that place and I can turn back. And this is pity. So it is much better to know that something is not good than to hope that it will be good and then to have a bad surprise. And actually, this guy thought that when I use your certificate, you make the audit. This will be not a message to the 16% of the related people. This is a message to the other 84 as well, that I'm like that. This is what Tewfik thought. This is a declaration. So those companies who are dealing with this problem, identifying themselves as correct people, delivering whatever the information is, because it can be good, it can be bad, but it makes sense. It's worth for the users to know that what will host me there where you are. You understand, Robert?
Yeah, I understand that. And does it mean that on someone's website that they can put a little icon that people who know what they're looking for will see it or not see it?
Basically, our solution is a kind of listing, but today, as long as the database is not big enough,
right.
People are not searching places through us, but which is the future. So once it will be filled up with thousands of buildings everywhere on Earth, you can use it as a listing app. That sitting in a main. I'm here in a city. I'm a wheelchair user, and I have headache. And where is a pharmacy nearby? The closest pharmacy when I can get in with my wheelchair to buy an Advil Ultra. That will be the future. But today, the communication is rather vice versa. So those companies, like for example, MediaMarkt in Hungary, they are a very good example that they put our link on the website, on the main website, and they say that if you are someone with different kind of limitation, if you are interested for the accessibility features, they are linking their buyers, their users, their consumers to our website. Every place has his own property sheet with all the details. Everything is there, all the data what we collected, the pictures, the measurements, and everyone can decide. So we have a kind of average or hard criteria, and so our valuation is based on a kind of subjective limit what we draw here. But everyone has different needs. So the aim to deliver all the information detailed for them is the option for everyone to decide that, okay, you say that it is not enough, not good for me, but I'm a bit stronger, I'm a bit more flexible, it's still okay for me. Or I'm in a worse capacity, and even if you say that it would be good for an average, and I'm in a worse position, so I will not able to use it. But that's the importance of delivering everything detailed and visible on our website and in a mobile application, what we prepared here in the past years.
Okay, and finally, Access4You, what is your plans for the future? Are you're spreading in Central Europe right now? Is Western Europe a huge growth market, or are all of these problems already taken care of a long time ago in Western Europe?
No, absolutely. So basically the problem is global. The lack of information is an average, and the situation of accessibility is also defying. So Balázs has a lot of bad stories also from Western Europe, and actually there was a huge interest from United States and Canada. We started to build our partnership relationships there. We are auditing our first building in India. Vipro is a huge software company, and their first campus, which will be now rebuilt or renovated, will be based on our advice actually. So our intention is to be the global answer for that, and we are ambitious to be there, and we are well prepared. So basically, all our steps are towards that point that to solve these problems globally.
Okay, and Tewfik, what is the nature of your cooperation then with Access4You? What is your role and how does it work?
So we at Colliers, we are in partnership with Access4You, and what we do is, again, we go and speak to all our clients, and all of them are relevant. We educate them, we share the knowledge and information with them, we have the discussions, and again, as you said and asked before, and I mentioned, the majority of our clients are into it and are already thinking of it. So we are just spreading the knowledge, and we try to offer the service where we can go, we can do the due diligence, we can do the checklist, a SWOT analysis, tell them exactly what needs to be done, ideally if they can certify the buildings, and if you look at the monetary value compared to the benefit and value add which you bring, not only on a commercial business level, but also again on a humane level and doing what is right, it's peanuts. It's really it's symbolic, and I think it's a cost that everybody should not consider as a cost, but as a thing which I must do for many reasons, because we again, it's not purely about business, it's about trying to make our environment, our world, a better place to live in for everyone.
Tamás, Tewfik, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Robert. Thanks.